It's no secret that from time to time I receive review copies of games from publishers, but yesterday something showed up in my mailbox that I had not received before, and it is an event kit. AG decided to send me an event kit for Smashup, one of those kits that stores use to host special events, and here we have one that apparently will come out in 2018 that has to do with Smashup. And I decided to cover these materials in one of my videos so that if you're a store, then you know what kind of material you can expect in the set in case you decide to host a Smashup event. And also, if you're going to one of these events, if you're a player, then you know what to expect. That is what you will find. As the little poster here explains, the Smashup All-Star Event Kit contains a new and exclusive faction, and we'll have a closer look at that one. Oversized playmat, ultra spiffy wooden tokens, and you also get a fully compatible with all sets. No, I don't think this is one of the components that you find in the set. The theme of the new faction is basketball. It's pretty much Smashup All-Stars, characters from previous factions that got together and form a very improbable but possibly highly effective and very entertaining basketball team. I mean, if there was a basketball team that had a werewolf, like in that good old movie with Michael J. Fox, and a dinosaur, and a pirate, and ghosts, and sentient plants, well, maybe I'll be watching more basketball than I presently do. Now, the event set comes in that very pretty large and long, more than large box, which is this large mainly to accommodate the play mat. In the box, you will find a little explanation on how to run a Smashup event. You will find a spiffy plastic bag, the above mentioned spiffy is a funny word, spiffy wooden tokens, and then we have several copies of the new faction, plus the mat. Let's take a look at the faction first, and then we'll see what the mat looks like. So we're going to open one of these boosters here. Well, boosters is not the right word, I guess, because it's not random cards like you find in Magic the Gathering. It is a faction. There's a sturdy plastic card here, which is a divider, so that you can put the faction behind it, so you have all of your factions in your box and you can easily retrieve them. We have a base, which is predictable enough, given the theme, a stadium. 3, 2, and 1 are the values, and after a minion here is destroyed, its controller draws a card. So sort of encourages some pretty violent gameplay. I expected for a stadium, I don't know, a little more of an Olympic, sporty, love and peace and nice competition. But it is Smashup after all, isn't it? So let's have a look at the cards that form the set. We have the Minion of Cthulhu, that, well, if you destroy the minion and place an action card from your discard pile, you can place an extra card on top of your deck. The Fan, that also may be discarded for an advantage, otherwise not a particularly strong minion. The Sprout, from one of the earliest, if not the original Smashup set, which can be used to turn it into a larger minion. The Ensign from the Cease and Desist expansion, the Star Trek inspired faction, and just like in Star Trek and in the Smashup faction, these guys are there to take pain and give a meaning to the experience that transcends their own mortality. Puck, so you gotta have some gnomes here and there. The Lab Assistant, I will not read all the effects, actually you can just pause the video and read them if you want to get more information. The Imperial Dragon, probably the most impressive card, at least in terms of art. The GE IF, LF, I can't remember what this is based on, this way I can't tell what the letter behind the afro is. Granny, weird art, but then it's Smashup, it's meant to be a little weird. A Dino, King Rex, again, if I'm not wrong, from the original set. Take your time to read the effect, which is this one, and it's more than enough. If you have a minion with power 7, that's all that you need. And talking about some actions, you can see stars with the ninja that can destroy a minion of power 3 or less. Good combo with the stadium, good synergy there. Begin the summoning, let the hate flow. Oh no, that's another one. That allows you to place a minion from your discard pile on top of your deck. Always nice stuff. Cthulhu rules, Cthulhu for president. It's astounding. Feel free to read the effect. Full Moon with Michael J. Fox showing his signature werewolf style. Non-infinite loop. The friendship power. I loved the pony inspired faction in Smashup. Ghostly Arrival, particularly powerful, particularly sneaky. Square Deal, very cute. Favor of Dionysus, game-wise, I don't know, not my favorite card. It's serviceable under certain circumstances, I guess. Prepare for battle. And finally, oh look at that, there was another one that I forgot about. Another base, which is the locker room. At the start of your turn, if you have a minion here, draw a card, because that's what the locker room is all about. It's about putting your resources, putting your energy together. I play with this faction, yes, this specific envelope here just open for your pleasure, but I had another one from this set here that I had opened before, and I played it. It's a fun faction. It's a fun faction. It's very eclectic, as I guess from an all-star is only to be expected. It's eclectic, it's fun, the art is really fun, and there is that even more tongue-in-cheekness than you have in Smashup, whose tongue-in-cheekness is already considerable. It's meta tongue-in-cheekness, it's inside jokes about Smashup, and therefore also about all the things that Smashup is already referencing tongue-in-cheeknessly. That adverb totally doesn't exist, but I said it anyways. It's a fun faction. Now, let's take a little break as I unroll the mat so I can have you have a good look at it. Here we go. As promised, here is the mat that comes with the kit for the Smashup event. It's large, nice, thick, the typical nice matte material. I don't know what the technical name is. The one that doesn't let cards slide down too much. As you can see, it has slots here that you will use to place the base cards, and also these base areas have tracks around it, so you can use tokens to keep track of the current and constantly changing number of influence points that is there. And you have an area there you can place the deck of base cards, and there is a spot next to it, as you can see, for the discard pile. As for the art, this is really an all-star mat. I don't know that there is any original art in here. It is a collection of characters and art that if you played Smashup, you've seen before from the previous sets. But I have to say, I'm not gonna complain about it, because I always liked the art for Smashup. I think it really has the perfect balance between satire, tongue-in-cheekness, humor, and yet detail, and it still manages to be evocative. It really creates a fictional world in which it almost seems believable that there are zombie transformers that fight against astronauts from Star Trek, from Star Wars, that have allied themselves with the aristocrats of Game of Thrones, or with doppelgangers, or with all sorts of crazy things. So to me, this is a nice mat. Again, it's not, I don't see any original art on it, but I like what I see. I like the composition. I like the celebration. I like the celebration of the smorgasbord of cultural references that Smashup is. In this sense, I think it's a really nice, really pleasant mat. Together with the other things that I showed you before, you get a sense of what the special event for the All-Stars faction is going to be in stores in 2018. You're going to play the new All-Stars faction, you're going to play on this mat, you're going to use those tokens, and then what happens to the mat at the end? Maybe the store will give it to you for free, they'll save it there, so when you go there to the store, you can use it to play, they'll auction it, it will be a reward for a mini tournament, I don't know, it'll be up to them, but you will know that if your store is hosting this event, this beautiful mat will be there, the All-Star factions will be there, and do not forget those wonderful spiffy wooden tokens, without which life will simply not be the same. Smashup special event coming up next in 2018. Mark your calendars, write 2018 on your calendar, so you know what's happening in 2018. Smashup special event coming up next in a friendly local game store next to you. Hopefully, if you're lucky, if there is a friendly local game store next to you that is going to host this event.